Yeah, your roommate was like a guest star for a moment.
He was like your roommate coworker was a guest star.
I'm eating that. I'm pretty, aren't I? I'm kidding.
She's like, I don't want to be a part of this fandom mess. Hey, King of Lame and Nerds of Us. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Uh, Dude, I just saw your video. I didn't hear the audio because Erin was watching World of Remnant, and I didn't want her to be like, "What the heck are you watching?" Hey, Anamara. Awesome.
Wait, what is this video that I'm hearing of?
He made a video on Twitter about VYTALCast. I just retweeted it.
Oh, okay, I'll go to your Twitter on my 2% battery phone.
Okay. I haven't listened to the audio because I didn't want to ruin your watching of Remnant. Here, I'm gonna push play.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Okay, start from the beginning.
In like 20, 30 minutes, maybe, you're going to be getting Ruby thrown all up in your face. Because VYTALCast is dropping. You better be there. Hopefully I will too.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, King of Lame, especially since you are here. So, thank you. And Nerds of Oz, thank you for retweeting it. And Spider KP, thank you for the Q&A stuff. All right, so Aaron just came.
I was going to watch it before VYTALCast. I wasn't sure if I wanted to react to it or what, so I put it on while we were on the Skype call, and I'm still pumped. It ended like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, so who in the chat has seen World of Remnant so far? The new one that came out forever ago, but we both decided to watch today. I think, okay, I don't think people have heard us say it yet, but it was pretty good. I think it explained a lot of what we've been seeing in Volume 4 so far.
Mm-hmm. It also is kind of hinting towards some theories that I have, and I'm sitting here like, oh boy.
Do those theories have to do with that Ren arc you were talking about earlier?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tell me.
Well, I haven't written out the script for it yet, but I might actually have time to record it before I go to Puerto Rico, so hopefully I'll be able to do that.
You're going to Puerto Rico?
Oh, yeah, for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's why we're... Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guys, warning. Next week's episode's being pre-recorded. I'm going to be in Vegas, but apparently Aaron's in Puerto Rico, so...
Yeah.
Have fun there.
Because Ren's arc is kind of hinted at a little bit in Volume 2, I believe, but not really much past that, because when they take their individual jobs, so when Team Ruby goes to Mountain Glen, Team Juniper was originally going to go to a small village outside of the kingdoms. And when they decide to go figure out what's going on in the city, Jean says something very specific. He takes a very specific effort to talk to Ren specifically and say, we'll make it out to that village another time, Ren.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Which very much implies that this village has some sort of significance to him, whether it's something that happened in his past or something, maybe, because it's pretty much established that he and Nora grew up together, most likely in a small village.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Larissa, for the posters. And King of Lame, that's not so much of a trip as all of my family's there. So we're just going to send it together. But back to the theory. So what we see in last week's episode, or not last week's episode, but Remembrance, was that when the village was attacked, Ren has a very different reaction than Jean and Ruby, and even Nora does, but not as openly about it.
He seemed to take it more personal than the rest.
My best guess is that Ren grew up in one of those smaller villages that lay between the kingdoms, and that what happened is that they were attacked by bandits, and I wouldn't be surprised if his parents were murdered, and then the Grimm came and destroyed the rest of it, and he barely managed to make it out, and he probably met up with Nora later if they weren't in the same village. But so that was a very distinct shape left in the ground, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was a certain kind of thing that they put,
like a brand mark. Like
a brand mark, or looking back, it could have possibly been a Pegasus Grimm horse print, but I'm not entirely certain.
That was way too big, I thought.
I thought so as well, but...
And also, there weren't, it was too clean cut. Yeah. There weren't, cracks around it, as if, a normal footprint would have, so...
But it was most likely, a brand. So the odds are that same gang that attacked that village that we see is probably the most likely the same one that attacked Ren's. And Nora, you even see the reaction on her face. She recognizes it immediately when she goes after him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they both have experience with this. This is likely going to be there's probably going to be a Ren arc either this season or next season, just because they've kind of been hinting at it slowly. Like Volume 2, it was the line with Ren. Volume 3, it was Nora's casual mention that they're both orphans with no home to go back to.
Yeah.
Volume 4, it builds further on that because they've lost their home again, and now that they see a village. And it was also a very Mulan-style introduction, because in the Disney movie Mulan, they're walking down the trail just like, a girl worth fighting, and then you see the village is burnt down.
Oh.
It was nearly exactly that.
True.
And we know that Ren's inspiration was Mulan.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd say that a Ren/Nora arc is coming up relatively quickly, especially with all of their traveling between villages.
Which, it's about freaking time we get something focused on Nora and Ren.
It would also explain why he's being a little bit more vocal this season than in other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that and Monty is just so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more in the sense of, if you grew outside of the kingdoms, you're probably going to be a little bit more reserved in the city in a populated school than you would be out in the country, out in the villages where you grew up, where things are more open, more peaceful. So in that environment, he'd most likely feel more comfortable, especially if he's with his teammates and people he trusts, that he could likely speak more if he wanted to.
True. Yeah, I mean, I have so many feels about Ren and Nora. Like, just Juniper in general. Like, I don't know. Like, Juniper sometimes I love more than Team Ruby. Like, they're very close on, like, where they are. Hey, Kaito Dan.
I know how you mean.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I would love to see more focus on Ren and Nora, because how I saw it through volumes 1 and 2 was like, well, there's Ruby, who's like the main character, who's like the peak of them, and then it kind of branches down to Team Ruby, and then John. John was like the 5th main character, and until like later half of volume 2 and then more volume 3, Pyrrha became the next one, but Ren and Nora were still very much side characters. So I'm really glad we're gonna get the spotlight on them.
All of volume 1 was Ruby and Team Ruby with a side of Juniper, and then volume 2 was like Weiss and Ruby and a bit of Blake and Jean and Pyrrha, and then now it's like they've always kind of been in the background. They had a bigger role in volume 3, but give us more Nora and Ren.
Exactly, and I think
we are thirsty.
We are very thirsty for Renora.
I'm just thirsty for both of them, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just shorten it.
Yeah.
to their ship name. I think Volume 4 is going to be a lot better when it comes to balancing who gets spotlight time, especially since they're all split up now, and we saw like Chapter 3 was split up between Yang and Blake. And then the other chapters have been pretty much split in half or into 3/4, focusing on multiple groups. So yes. I hope we get more balance on that. And also with World of Remnant has like a weird, well, not a weird thing because it's most likely intentional, that Rooster Teeth usually points something out that's going to be in the next episode. And so I think we're going back to Team Ranger next episode, and we're going to have more focus on the villages, and we're probably going to get Ren talking about the villages, because they mentioned the bandits and all of that. So we're either going to see bandits, or there's going to be Taka bandits from Ren and Nora. And then it also said we don't know where she is, so it might hint more at where Salem is.
Yeah, there might be another short Salem scene, but because they've kind of had one per episode almost.
Yeah.
Or one every other episode, so it wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too surprising, although I kind of wish and hope that they'd stop showing the villains just for a little bit, just so we're left more of questioning what they're going to be up to, and then all of a sudden, surprise, here they are, and not so much.
I think if we do see the villains this episode, it'll be what's kind of being known as Team Witch more so than Salem, because Salem, they gave just enough hinting to what she's doing with Cinder that I don't think that they'll want to explore it further, and that maybe it could focus on Watts going to that meeting. Or speaking of bandits, it could be Hazel meeting up with a certain head of the White Fang.
Yeah. And we might actually see Tyrion catching up with Team Ranger as well.
Ooh.
Because in the intro, it does show them fighting in a village that is hit. It looked like it got hit by Grim and bandits.
Mm-hmm.
And he does kind of look bandit-ish, doesn't he? Do you think
A bit, yeah.
he might have some sort of connection to bandits?
I wouldn't be surprised, but he could also just be a complete and utter Looney Tune, so...
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess that's one of the reasons why, out of all the new villains, I don't like Tyrion the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's too different from the rest of the group. Everyone's more professional, more together, and then there's just him, who's very loud and, well, not keeping it together. So...
I just love the idea of whenever Tyrion gets out of control, someone just like yanks on his braid, just like chill.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like a child leash.
Yeah, we need the fan art. Salem
Tyrion's braid is a child
holding
leash,
him
tell your
by his
friends.
ponytail. Just like, down, boy.
I think I tweeted that last week, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's kinky," and it's like, no,
What?
No.
People, what? No. No. Oh, speaking of fan art, I am not screwing up this week. We got fan art. Oh, I need to send it. Wait, you've seen the fan art, haven't you?
no,
'Cause-
I never see it. The only fan art I've seen was the art that was mine.
What was tweeted to us?
Then the
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, okay,
All right. And you're somewhat watching the stream right now, too, aren't
yeah,
you?
it's like delayed though, so it's up on my
Okay.
TV, and I'll make a joke, and then it's like I'll save myself.
Crap. What was his name? He was in the chat just a while ago. It's like CR...
Do you want me to look?
CR... No, I saw him. Just barely. Just barely. I'm still scrolling to him. I just saw him in the chat. Where is he? I know he was in the chat near the beginning. Where is he? I want to give proper credit. Hold on.
Sea Rabbit.
Yeah. Her hex.
That Hayes.
Yeah.
Kens-
Well, her haze. Okay. So,
Wow.
sorry if we're pronouncing this wrong. I'm
Oh.
terrible, and I just put my hand, like, in total view of the web camera. So this Team Ruby art he did. It was very awesome, and I got the other art ready to show, too, but I just love stuff like this. Like, it's one thing to have, like, 2D fan art, but it's also really cool to see the 3D art.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's really nice. And I think the other pictures, let's see. Yeah, here's John's, and he put a scroll with Pyrrha on there, which it very feels.
I'm pretty sure every time like the Jean-Luc Lapierre one was liked or retweeted, someone like I would get a notification, and I saw the Pyrrha one, and I just kind of like stopped in the middle of the sidewalk and was kind of like, okay.
You just like sit down. You're like, I can't walk.
It broke my legs.
It broke my legs. Yeah. And let's see. I think the Nora one I have up next. Let's see.
There was a Nora one? I
No,
didn't
it's
see that.
Ren and Nora's.
Oh, I didn't see those. What?
Oh, I swear they got sent to you. Maybe this was something he sent to me on Ruby Amino.
I didn't check Twitter for like a couple days because I'm in finals week, and I haven't been on Ruby Amiibo in like a month because finals week.
Yeah. Oh man. Good luck. I hope you.
Oh,
do good.
those look so cool.
I know, right?
Oh.
I mean, just a question for him since he's in the chat.
Oh.
Was it hard to like balance Nora's hammer on that? Because that looks like the weight could have made it like lean a weird way.
Yeah. Like from someone who makes props, that hammer would be a nightmare. Like I've been trying to make that hammer for a while, like blocking it out, and it's just
Weight distribution is a pain.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
says, yeah, the feels hit me a lot at working on these. Well, yeah, you're
I
like,
know that feeling.
it's like, how do I make myself emotional and everyone else that sees this?
Like I'm still doing that Inktober Ruby months. Like I'm slowly working down my list. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
getting closer and closer to the Jean and Pyrrha one, so I have to start planning for that. And I'm just like crying.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this. But speaking of Pyrrha, This is gonna like stab you in the heart, so brace yourself. Wait, you've seen this? I know you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen this. You
Yeah.
saw my crying on
It's
Twitter.
broken. I didn't notice it till after you replied to the tweet. I'm like, wait, why is she crying? And then I like look. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like I'm actually this close to taking my old Pura sphere because I still have my original one, and then like snapping it and using it like for the 3 pieces. And
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah. Okay. So he said that Ren's pistols were harder to make stable, but yeah, Nora's was hard too. But oh my, dude, props to making these. Like, here's my little clapping. I can't clap too loud, or else like microphones they freak out with that. Yeah. I've been in a lot of theater. I know microphones are sensitive. Yeah. Kato Dan says the tears make for good glue. That they do.
Definitely.
Either that or they undo the glue, or weaken the paper.
Mhm.
Yeah, seriously, that was awesome, and I really want to see more fan art to put up on this show, which I know so far we've been really terrible at because this is the second time we've shown fan art, and we were supposed to show it last week. So thank you.
I've sent you like all those files in the past that you can use. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got that meme one. What's her
Wait,
name?
which meme one? Like the one with the.
The
Yeah.
skater. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you know. Oh man. Like also speaking of meme one, that AMV you were talking about the other day.
Which one?
You know,
'Cause
the
I'm
meme
working-
one. You said the
Oh, yeah.
meme one with John.
I'm working on 3 meme ones. You have to be specific.
Oh, come on. Okay, it has John and the.
Is it to Gwen Stefani or Shakira?
I think it's Gwen. Oh, it's Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani.
Okay.
You should definitely have that be like your how many sub celebration. Oh, are you at 2,000 yet?
No, dude, no.
Hold on, I'm looking up puns of damage. Puns of
I'm probably still like at 1,000.
damage. Okay, let's see this channel. You are a little under 150 subs from hitting 2,000.
Okay, that's just weird. I don't do anything.
Excuse you. You've had like probably the longest reaction videos I've been seeing for this volume, and
Just because I cry about Pure and Nikos, that's the only reason
yeah,
why.
but like I think everyone likes it because compared to a lot of other reaction videos who are like, all right, we're watching this, okay, episode's done, video's done. You actually take the time and show the passion and love for the show, and I try to do that as best as I could, but I get so exhausted doing reaction videos. I'm like, all right, I'm talking for like 8 minutes. All right, guys, I'm like toast. I could talk.
sorry.
We'll talk about this on VYTALCast. Like, like I need someone to bounce my words off of. You know. Hey.
I am the world's most red-haired sounding board.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out King of Lame again for thank you for being like our first, technically second mod for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, give him a big thanks and internet hug.
A round of applause.
Yeah, hopefully you don't get work today, and hopefully there hasn't been anything, or if there has been something already, like great job for taking care of it before I saw it. Nerds of Oz says my most popular videos have me crying. Yeah,
Same.
yeah. I think my most popular video is like the first reaction to Ruby Chibi, and
Really?
it was with my friend. Yeah, a lot of people really wanted me to keep doing it with my friend, but well, we're not friends anymore, so that's why.
Sorry.
So, well, you know, when people like lie and they're also like, I don't want to like rant and like make it sound like she's a terrible person, but there's a lot of stuff that I eventually just kind of got
How about we just...
fed up with. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think my most popular is Volume 2, that is just me sobbing.
Volume 2. Did you do reaction videos back in Volume 2?
Chapter 2.
Oh, Chapter 2. Chapter 2. I'm like, Volume 2. I'm like...
I did them for Volume 3, they're just not up on the internet.
Yeah, I was like, you did Volume 2? Why aren't you bigger than you are? Let's see. I'm looking at my most viewed.
People want me to put up my Volume 3 finale reaction, and it's like, you don't want to look on like the crappy Mac camera quality and see the moment my heart broke. You don't, because I don't even cry. I just die.
Yeah.
I just died inside.
All right. So my top like 5 reaction videos were the one I mentioned, the one with my friend, the first episode to Ruby Chibi. Then it's episode 6, which has Pyrrha coming in. And it, like I call it, my heart is singing with joy. I remember Arnold. Arnold talked to me about this reaction when I met him. He was like, "It's like, dude, that reaction video where Pyrrha comes into Ruby Chibi, that was awesome." I'm like, "Thank you." And then there's like Ruby Chibi episode 2 reaction, and then the next 2 were like episodes 12 and 11 from volume 3, which I'm actually really surprised and proud of because they have no footage from the episode. So, and next is what? Oh, this was actually a fan recommend. I did a Team Fortress 2 reaction video, and that was like number 6. I didn't. That would explain why it's still getting comments. People are arguing about Team Fortress 2 on it. They're like, "No, what gender is the flamethrower person?" Well, they're a male. Well, if you look at the comics, that one died and then was replaced with a female. And I'm like, oh my gosh, guys.
I tell you, I did a Red versus Blue reaction in season 14 before I stopped, and I still get comments on that video that's like, "Are you stupid? Caboose isn't a freelancer." And I'm like, you know what? I made this video like 6 months ago.
People, someone made a similar comment. I'm like, no. I didn't say Caboose was a freelancer. I just thought it was funny he was on the list where the freelancers were. Yeah, anyway, people misinterpret what I say all the time.
Freelancer Donut, sign me up.
Freelancer Donut.
He doesn't die, he's a cockroach.
I know.
It makes sense.
Freelancer Donut reporting for booty.
My most popular ones are, in order, Volume 4, Chapter 2, Volume 4, Chapter 1, Ruby Chibi 2 through 6, and then Camp Episode 1.
Oh, wow. I think the Chibis episode 2 through 6 were like the video I saw the day I met you, or like something. Yeah, and that was like why I recognized you on the floor, because like earlier that morning, because I had to wait for Alan to get ready for RTX, I'm like, I'm gonna watch reaction videos, and I was just clicking on randomly channels because I was like, I want to get familiar with other reactioners, and
here we are now.
Yeah, here we are now. So when I saw you, I was like, wait, are you that person that like does the same thing as me? Yeah, okay.
That like made my day, by the way. I was like, oh my god, someone recognized me.
Yeah, someone later that day somewhat recognized me. They're like, "Hey, don't you do reaction videos?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay." And then I was like, But let's see. The Kaito Dan says, "I'm still gotta get my chapter 3 in World of Revenant videos out." Dude, moving takes a lot of time. But yeah, hopefully you get your videos out and everything's okay.
There's a comment I need to bring up really quick. So okay. AC Gears and Arms says, "Have you guys heard the rumors for the requested death battle with a Ruby character, Ruby Rose versus Maka Albarn?"
What?
Wait, have you seen Soul Eater?
Yeah, no, I know what Soul Eater is. So.
Like, I need that to be a thing. I don't think you understand how much I need that to be a thing. I bought like a full box set of Soul Eater with extended bonus features because of Maka.
Care to share it with me? Just so I could get into it. Well. Here's what I'm scared of with that. Is 1, Ruby Rose dies, and I don't want to see that.
Aww.
2 is Ruby Rose wins, and I see it.
Dies.
Well, since I'm like just a little into Soul Eater, I don't think the feels will be as bad for me there. But seeing the comments go, "This is just Screw Attack kissing up to Rooster Teeth again," like they did with Yang versus what's her face from Final Fantasy. Yeah. I'm like,
you know, if they work with Rooster Teeth and can get the VAs, it makes sense.
It makes sense, but
it's for them.
Yeah, people are like, you only made Yang win because you're joining Rooster Teeth, and it's like, oh, come on, that.
The thing is, like, I got into Ruby mostly because of my friend, but partially because she was like, you know how you love Maka? Because at the time I was like, you know, if I was a badass hero, I'd have a scythe just because of Maka. she was like, there's a person like her. And there was all these memes where it was like, Ruby Rose, Maka ain't got shit on her. And it's like, I need to see this. But although, like, I don't know how it would work because it is 2v1, because Soul is her scythe. So unless Weiss spontaneously becomes Crescent Rose, I don't really know what's going to happen here.
Or Zwei. Zwei just turns into Crimson Rose. She's like, I'm ready for action.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
This is why. He turned into a ball of fire.
Yeah.
Another good one would be seeing Nora and Nora and someone else who uses a hammer, because I know they already did Ramon Flowers, so I don't think they would
Nora
do her
and
again.
Thor.
But
Nora versus the person.
Amy Rose.
Yeah.
But like Nora versus someone else with a hammer would be priceless.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
Thor. Nora versus Thor.
Yeah, Nora versus Thor, because but the thing is, like, would Nora win because she just takes in electricity and becomes stronger? I mean, it feels almost one-sided with that comparison.
It would be.
It was like, Nora is inspired by Thor, but let's make her Thor's, like, kryptonite, pretty much. Like,
Makes sense.
yeah, and then, crap, what? Oh, someone asked me a question in my Q&A video about, like, they said, what if we had a character like Tyrion, but was good? And I was like, they're, like, kind of crazy, wants to fight just for the fun of it.
Chaotic good.
I'm like, we have Nora. Like, Nora is pretty much what you're trying to explain. She loves fighting for the thrill of it, and the tougher the opponent, the more fun it is for her.
She's just not quite cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs as far as Tyrion.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's just enough crazy, like.
Ooh, Nora versus Reinhardt. I would want to see that.
That would be amazing.
I think she would win.
That Nora would win?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's got the speed.
Yeah, like they're both tanks, but Nora has enough agility and speed that she'd be able to get around that shield.
Oh yeah, and she has more range attacks. Yeah, I mean, it seems like she could have more range with her grenade launcher than he does with his fire hammer attack thing.
Yeah, that thing is... Yeah.
It's a pain. Yeah, I know. I've really pissed off a Reinhardt once. Anyway, chat, AC Gears and Arm says, Tyrion's good but equally crazy twin brother? Please, no.
That would be terrifying.
It would be terrifying, but also it's like, so far I can only barely handle one Tyrion. Two of them would just be a little overkill for me.
You know what there needs to be in this volume, though? The shopkeeper. I need the exact same shopkeeper to show up in every village and every kingdom.
He needs to become like the cabbage guy from The Last Airbender.
He needs to be a combination of the cabbage guy and Nurse Joy.
Yeah, where he's just like... Well, I'd like to see him like have like a little travel cart of dust that he's just trying to sell. And then like something happens and they smash through his cart. He's like, my dust!
It would be a logical business venture considering his buildings keep getting destroyed.
Yeah, it's like,
he drove in a car
dust.
and freaking Penny was like, oh, let me stop your cars and hopefully blow up.
He's like, the insurance companies are gonna ban me or something. Like, what is it this week, shopkeeper? Sure. A girl stopped your car with her bare hands. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
and you got robbed again. Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
One minute I'm driving and suddenly there was a red-headed girl and then there was a burr and then it was...
Yeah.
Black.
Alright, Dan says he's gotta go. He's getting dizzy spells. Sorry, Dan. Also, we'd love to see you on... What?
Drink tea, it helps with everything.
Yeah, he says he's gonna lie down. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week or something. I'd love to have you on sometime. Dust would explode, wouldn't it? Well, it depends on the element. Do you think dust is like dynamite and just pretty much explodes if something happens?
It doesn't really explode, it just kind of does whatever that element does. Like, so when, in the very first volume, when Weiss is shaking her container of dust, it's like, dust, energy, power, and then Ruby sneezes, there's an explosion of fire.
Yeah.
So, like, if that was to happen with ice, it would just...
freeze.
It would freeze everything, kind of.
Yeah.
Which I think would be great.
So, yeah, I mean, we basically just... That'll make it even funner. They smash through his cart. he's all frozen up to the head, and he's like, my dust.
He freezes out and does the teeter-totter thing and then falls over. Hey, Neil!
Yeah. Why not my noodle bowls? Oh yeah, he does a noodle shop.
What if the secret flavoring on his noodles is dust?
Is that legal?
Probably not.
I'd imagine that has some health issues to it.
Well, probably, but at the same time, I mean, if you can infuse dust into clothing, I've seen some pretty cool theories about dust-infused tattoos, so...
Ooh, that would be cool.
Like...
That would be really cool. That's what I originally thought the tattoo on the back of Cinder's back was, until we saw it was related to the Fall Maiden.
Which I want to figure out exactly how that worked. Because, like... When you get the Fall Maiden powers, you're not going to get an instant outfit change and a random tattoo on your back.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was more of a side effect of the Grim that she used, and that ties in more to what Salem would say.
I think it is. I think it's more tied to it being stolen, because...
Yeah.
I mean, we never saw, like, Autumn's back, but, you know, Pyrrha would have had at least a little mark at first. Mm-hmm. I think they would have made it pointed out.
Yeah. So. It definitely would have been a significant thing.
Yeah.
But...
Kozif Tadro says, seriously though, where did the dust come from?
They mine it.
Yeah, they just mine it. It's just like, why do we have gold and silver? I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah. How do you
just find in the ground.
Like, I'm really curious to see if in the wastes, if those purple pink dust crystals are in fact corrupted dust. I think that'd be very interesting because, you know, it's all of the elements, but what if there is like a darker one?
Yeah, like how there's red kryptonite and stuff.
Sort of. Maybe not like red kryptonite in the sense that, I don't know, kind of like it's tainted or poisoned. Like, the only comparison I can think of is in Dragon Age, which is the red lyrium. Because lyrium is like a magical thing that if you're a mage, it replenishes you. It can also make you go insane if you use it too much if you're not a mage. So, I'm wondering...
It's like a power that could come with corruption or something?
Because that would make sense if that's partially, like, if that's where the Grim is from, or if that's where a lot of the Grim are originating. Maybe the Grim used to be animals, but because of this dust, they became corrupted and twisted, and therefore they spawn differently. Therefore, there's other subspecies. Because wasn't there talk of Grim being created in test tubes at one point? I remember that being talked about it. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. It would have been like a volume...
I remember Lindsay saying something about Grim being created from test tubes, but that may not have been like a thing.
She might have been making a joke.
It was probably either a joke or it was talking about Grim Eclipse because there was the test tube Grim.
Because that was the only thing that was ringing a bell was Grim Eclipse.
Yeah. Hey, Arnold.
Oh, hey, Arnold.
But it would make sense. That's also why Cinder needs to work on controlling it because it's foreign. It's constantly fighting up against a sword, so you get more power, but at a great cost. My cat.
And she needs to make sure it doesn't take over her and stuff.
Because that, like, Salem clearly has it under control.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's a combination of those Grim and that dust, which I like someone in the chat calling it ash. I think that's really awesome. So I'm going to start calling it that. But, like, having a combination of dust and ash putting together in such a fashion, like, it would make sense for her to end up that way. It makes sense to have that opposition. That is why Salem is so powerful, but it's also why she can't really go out more. It's why she can communicate and almost control the Grim, because she, in some ways, is just like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it would make sense why Cinder could with the dragon, because if she used that Grim to get the Fall Maiden's powers, then she also had some ash.
Yeah, that makes sense. Arnold was saying those dark crystals remind him of Dark Echo from Jak and Daxter. I never had a PlayStation, so...
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Stoic Drug is saying...
theory crafting with Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, and Stoic Drug said Naughty Dog should make a game of Ruby, which Naughty Dog would be pretty awesome. Although this reminded me of something I was thinking of at work, because I was trying to think of like random topics to talk about for Ruby, and that was, what would a VR game of Ruby be like?
Ooh.
Like, I think a good VR game for Ruby would be like creating your own weapon or putting together the weapons from the show.
I feel like that'd be tricky though. Maybe, like, honestly, VR Grim Eclipse could kind of work.
Okay. Yeah, I could see. Or like waves coming towards you instead of
Mhm.
you going
2
around.
points, yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
So it's very much just how long can you survive timer sort of thing, or you know what I mean?
Kind of like firefight.
Yeah, a firefight.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would love to see a Mortal Kombat style Ruby game without
Oh yeah.
like
Without the
not
extra
without,
gore
like,
and all that.
yeah, without the extra gore, like no ripping spines
So just
out
a
of
regular
people.
fighting game. Street Fighter.
Yeah, like a Street Fighter or like a Super Smash game for Ruby.
Super Smash style would be amazing, and it would fit because I could just imagine like Nora totally like smacking someone with their hammer, and they go flying and hit against the screen and
Is
fall.
Nora the Kirby of Super Smash Ruby?
Maybe Super Smash Ruby Bros. But yeah, VR I think would be really cool to have like just putting together weapons. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you have to like screw in this nut and bolt, but just
Yeah.
like here's the blueprint, grab the pieces, put them into that.
King of Lame says Ruby, the Vital Festival.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, Vital
So-
Festival tournament fighting game.
That could either be like the Super Smash, so it's the Vital tournament Smash game, or that would even work for VR. If they can combine the like fighting games and that'd be so cool.
Yeah, and Anamara is saying to check your Twitter.
My phone's on 1%, so we'll see if I can.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Oh, I can't see when you get tagged by stuff. I
Oh
can't.
my god, you did one of my Pyrrha cosplay. Oh my god,
Wait.
one of
Let me
the
see.
things. Holy
Oh,
shit!
oh, isn't that your
sorry.
pinned tweet?
Yeah, it's my pinned tweet. That's so cool.
Thank you, Anamara.
Thank you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And the caption is that I'm a cosplay legend. I'm just gonna fall to the floor a little bit and cry a lot. That's the end of the couch. I have to fall this way.
Okay. So, speaking of like cosplay, I mean, this is like just a side thing. This is going back to a conversation you and I had last night. Your hair looks nice.
Thank you.
This is the first time I've seen it since you like re-dyed it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so pissed because the
What?
thing that was supposed to be for tonight,
Yeah.
it didn't get delivered today.
No, it didn't.
That's why I'm wearing this thing instead. I'm so upset.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
It needs to get here this weekend so I can just wear it for 4 days straight.
Just don't spoil it. We'll try to keep it a surprise for the
I'm
audience.
not gonna spoil anything.
Maybe you'll get it tomorrow. Wait, will it deliver tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll either be here tomorrow or Monday. So
Okay.
as long as I have it before I leave for the island.
Yeah, because, then maybe we could do it for the pre-recording for next week's episode.
Yeah.
Which, for those who weren't here, we're pre-recording next week's episode because we got Thanksgiving plans, and also you guys should have Thanksgiving plans too, so.
I'm also low-key salty because I wanted to bring my Volume 4 Blake cosplay with me to Puerto Rico, but I can't because I didn't have space.
Oh,
Because it would have been perfect!
would it?
Yeah, well, beaches. It's an island in the
Oh.
Caribbean with beautiful water.
Okay, wait, but wearing cosplay to the beach?
I've done it before.
Okay, alright.
You wear it and then you take it off and actually put on swimming stuff.
Okay. I
No, I'm gonna go swimming in my full Blake cosplay that easily cost me $40.
Well, I was thinking that, or like sand getting all over it and stuff, and I
Ah.
was like, don't ruin it, or people giving you like weird looks, like, what the heck is she dressed up as? Like, I don't know the culture in Puerto Rico. I don't know how normal cosplay dress would be for Puerto Rico. So, although I imagine is it nice for vacation? Is it nice at this time of year?
I haven't been in a while, and I don't think I've ever really gone this time of year, so I wouldn't really know. All I know is it's not 40 degrees. So
Okay, yeah.
it
Step up.
apparently is the same weather all year round, according to my friend who is Puerto Rican and who lives there.
Oh, nice.
And thank you about the posters, Arnold. I have all 4 of them, and
There's your
a
roommate.
very special one.
Do it for her. Is that the one that got misprinted, or where's the one that got? Do you still have the misprinted one?
The misprint is just in my room. It's not even up. It's just laying on my table.
Okay, so pretty much my Extra Life poster from last year.
Do you really?
Yeah. My roommate was like, "You kiss it every night before you go to bed, don't you?" And it's like, no.
She's not that obsessed, people.
Also, this is just my friend. We don't live together. This is not my roommate.
Oh, sorry. I thought I've seen her before, so
She basically lives here.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
So pretty much me with my cousins during my senior year of high school. Um. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to read. Okay,
Oh,
so we're having
can we
people
talk
saying
about the
they don't. Shama?
Should we talk about the episode?
Which episode?
Not the World of Remnant, but chapter.
Chapter 3? Oh,
We
yes.
haven't talked about that.
Someone on Ruby Amino wanted us to talk about Yang. So, yeah, we could talk about Yang from the episode. And speaking of Yang, I cried about Tai Yang randomly at work today.
Doesn't.
I just
cry about
randomly
that.
cried about Tai Yang, and I was like, I barely know this guy, and I'm crying. Okay.
From what we know of him, it's already kind of sad.
I know, and it's just, I don't know. And do you think, and this thought kind of came up to my head when I was crying about him, but do you think he was at all connected to the Maiden Protection Program, so to say? Because
I don't-
Crow is.
Crow is. I feel like it is possible, and I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not entirely sure because I haven't given it too much thought.
Okay.
Like, it would make sense for all of Team Stark to kind of be involved with it, especially if the theory is correct that Summer was a maiden, which I'm not sure if that was a thing. But
Yeah. It has yet to be confirmed
Yeah.
or denied.
because it would make sense, because if she becomes the maiden, it would make sense for Crow to at least be one person to watch over her. And I have a maiden guardian theory kind of figured out, but
Okay.
I feel like at least one other person on Team Stark would have known, but I'm not sure.
My theory that I kind of came up with was the whole team was given the option. Raven just kind of went rogue, and then she probably found out some information and then changed her mind on the whole thing, and therefore why she's off doing her own thing, and Crow is she's dangerous, watch out. And then Tai Yang probably agreed to it, and it was either Summer was the maiden and then she died, or something else happened in the program and Tai Yang left it, probably to raise Yang and Ruby and just kind of do side missions. That was too much of a full-time job, I guess.
At the same time, I feel like this is the kind of organization you don't leave, and that asking 4 people to join at once would be too many. Because just this, in all of Beacon, the entirety of Beacon, quite possibly the entirety of Vale, there was about 4 or 5 of them. Because I don't feel like counting right now.
Yeah. All right.
So asking an entire team, Crow, Crow is probably part of it. My theory is that Crow was kind of the guardian for Amber. That's why he showed up. That's why he knew that she was there.
Yeah.
That's how he knew to find her in that one episode. But
So AC Gears and Arm says, do you guys think if we ever hear a speaking role for Summer Rose, would it be Lindsay who voices her, just using a more mature? I think it'd be a totally different voice actress. Yeah. And then Neil, right underneath that, said, I feel like Raven has something to do with Summer's death.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't put it past her, but
Like,
how much that would hurt my feels.
I saw a comic once, and this was back before we kind of knew this was before we really knew about the maidens. This was back before even Silver Eyes were really a thing. And it was this comic where it was Summer was heading out somewhere, and Raven actually came to stop her. She was like, you know what you're getting into, you know what they're capable of. And I know that they didn't know this now, but it would make sense if that was Salem and if Summer was a maiden. And she was like, I know, but I need to do this. It's you're going to die. And she's like, I know. And then at the end of it, Raven, she can't stop her. So Summer goes in anyway, and she gets killed. And the whole thing was that their theory for the Silver Eyes was that it behaved a lot like the Maiden Power. So it was transferred from one person to another. So that when Summer died, Tai Yang knew because Ruby's eyes were silver.
Oh man, that'd be that.
It was tragic.
That is tragic, but it's also wow.
It's
But then
almost
also
more like the maidens now, which I feel like would almost be interesting to see as well, because it is the last person your thought goes to, and it would make sense for a mother to have it go to her daughter.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like there'd be another somewhat protection program made for the Silver Eyes or something. Although you and I did talk about maybe a secret society that helps train Silver Eyes.
Either helps train them or just kind of is we know they're a thing. We're looking for people who do the thing so we can explain to them and they don't actually accidentally become evil or kill someone.
Yeah, and Remnant has a lot of religions in there that we know revolve around the tales of the maidens and the Silver Eyes. So I just kind of wonder, if there's some sort of maybe a deity or something that kind of randomly picks the silver-eyed guardians. Silver-eyed warriors to be acting as guardians against the Grimm or something.
Another possibility is that it is through lineage, because that would make sense.
Hmm.
Especially like if that because they said that there were so much more few silver-eyed warriors now, and they're becoming a lot more and more few. It makes sense because if you were able to track down what bloodline had the silver eyes,
then it'd be easier to
you
wipe
could stop
them out.
them. You could stop them, and they're probably going to be them and the maidens are most likely prime opposition.
Okay, and I'm looking at a picture of Summer Rose right now. It's
Mhm.
from
Didn't she have
Crow's
silver eyes?
photograph. She has silver eyes, yeah.
Yeah, so it would make sense because we know that it's not from Tai Yang's side of the family because Yang doesn't have them.
Yeah, and
Neil says that he feels like people with the silver eyes were actually like royal guards to the maidens, and that would make sense.
yeah, and I think that's kind of what I know we somewhat touched on that.
Yeah.
Just a smit. We'll have a lot of like reoccurring topics that we'll bring up every now and then with this show, I feel.
But it's true that the silver eyes predate the maidens, so maybe it was like silver-eyed warriors tended to become the protectors of the maidens, but
Yeah, like that wasn't their original purpose, but then because they were
because
the
the
most
Grimm
fit.
feared them, so
Yeah, and they were like the most powerful warriors, or one of the most powerful warriors. Therefore, they were the most qualified. I almost said verified. They were most
they were Twitter verified.
Yeah, they were Twitter verified. Then they lost enough followers to like lose it, or they became like PewDiePie and added the globe thing instead.
Yeah, but silver eyes definitely were before kingdoms. They were from like the minute mankind came from dust, there was silver eyes. So
Yeah, I was gonna read Arnold's comment, but you've said it already. So yeah, I don't know. There's so much about the world of Remnant that we need to learn, which I guess is pretty good. Why we're having the world of Remnant shorts that we're getting.
It's nice. It's a nice way to give exposition in a very clear and short and still enjoyable way without making the episodes be like, well, back when I was a child, we had stories of the silver-eyed warriors.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, no, I don't know.
First dialogue line.
Yeah, it's like please don't. I mean for the show, not you, but also, World of Remnant, like I said, has been used as an interesting storytelling tool to pointing out something that's going to happen in the next episode. Because
I love go ahead.
Oh, well, with like the Fall Maidens, it like brought up the Fall Maiden story, and then the very next episode, it's like, hey, Fall Maiden stuff, and then we had like the different kingdoms and traveling between them, and then this one brought up mainly just bandits and villages. So I think that's what we're gonna see a lot.
Like earlier on, the World of Remnants were definitely just, hey, here's some background on the world that you need to know to help understand this world a little bit better, so we don't have to answer the same questions over and over. It's this kind of basic what you need to know, and it slowly progressed, especially during Volume 3, as to what is coming up soon. Like it was when it brought up the communication towers, everyone was kind of like, oh, that's cool.
And then it was like screwed.
They were hinted at in Volume 2, and then as soon as things started to get real, it was like, the tower must not fall. Shit.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to be starting to get a lot of foreshadowing from previous volumes. Kind of like how Harry Potter would mention something in the previous book that doesn't really become a main story tool till the next book.
Professor, why would I want to go looking for someone who wants to kill me? Do you mean the entire last book?
Yeah. We're trying to find a snake to the Chamber of Secrets who's out to kill mudbloods. But Professor, why would I try to find this guy who apparently helped kill my parents? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think today is actually like the anniversary of the Chamber of Secrets being opened again.
That would explain. Well, I don't know about that, but didn't Fantastic Beasts come out today?
Oh, yeah, that came out, but I saw like a lot of people making posts about the enemies of the hair, beware, the Chamber of Secrets is opened. So I've been seeing a lot of people post that and write that on their mirrors and take pictures and post it to Facebook and Twitter. So I'm like, is today like the anniversary day? But Fantastic Beasts did come out. Yeah.
We actually, so they tore down my art and science building at my old high school, but while we were there, it was the last week of it because they did it midway through the year. We were allowed to do whatever we wanted. So we actually raided the art room and got like red paint, and we just wrote the Chamber of Secrets has been opened, enemies of the air beware, right over the girl's bathroom. I started cackling maniacally and running through the halls shouting spells until I fell.
I would have high-fived you if I was at your school.
Nerds of Oz did a Ruby crossover with Harry Potter and you know, I have been thinking of those for a long time, but I can't settle on Team Juniper houses, so I'm just gonna...
Well, I think Ren might be Slytherin. Well, a lot of people have been saying Slytherin, but I think he might be a Ravenclaw.
I have actually, like, everyone but Pyrrha sorted, so I mean, Pyrrha and Ren, because I think I had Ren as a Ravenclaw, Jean I had as a Slytherin, but...
Did she just say he's a Hufflepuff?
Yeah, not my roommate, my friend was just like, no, he's a Hufflepuff, and I'm like, okay, he got transcripts to fulfill he's ambitious as fuck, guys, like...
Yeah, he is.
The ends justify the means. He got at Beacon even if it was through illegal transcripts, like, that's kind of like...
What a Slytherin would do.
Guys.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying Hufflepuffs can't kick ass.
Hey, tell her that, you know, just because someone is in one house doesn't mean they don't share traits from other houses. Like, Hermione could easily have gone into a Ravenclaw, but it was, like, one simple thing.
Doesn't mean they don't share traits with another house. Like, I'm a Griffin puff. I feel that. Like...
But, I don't know, I think Pyrrha's a Gryffindor.
I don't know.
Red hair, heart of bravery, you know, destined for glory. That's all Gryffindor.
I know, like, I feel you. I'm just like, I always want them to be, like, since there's 4, I want them to be one in each house, so it's like, yeah, she's probably a Gryffindor. But at the same time, it's like, why can't they, it's like, I need this team to be perfect.
Especially the perfect one.
Because, like, for Team Ruby, it worked out perfectly. Yang is Gryffindor, Weiss is Slytherin, Blake is Ravenclaw, and Ruby would most likely be Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that worked wonderfully. And then it got to Team Juniper, and it almost worked. And it was like, 2 Gryffindors? Okay.
I mean, it could be Gryffindor strong. I mean, it could work out. Alright, so... Wait. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat. Let's see. So... Standing by Life says Ren and Blake are Ravenclaw. And then someone says, I ship Blake with the sea captain. Oh, come on!
Right, can we take a moment to appreciate the sea captain, though? Because, like, for a while I was kind of wondering what, like, the state of religion was in the world of Remnant. Because, like, there was some stuff around Dust, and then this guy flat out says, by the gods. And it's like, okay, that gives us something we can work with. Yeah.
Well... Also, that could be referencing to how the 4 maidens made religion... Well, there were religions made revolving around the 4 maidens. So the 4 maidens might be considered to be goddesses. Mm-hmm. So by the gods, 4 maidens.
I will be very happy if there is a very, like, matriarchal system of religion, because it would make sense in Ruby. And it also... I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see, because you never see that anywhere else.
Yeah. And
I'm not bitter.
I'll tell you outside of VYTALCast that some stuff I know from a friend, but man, you just reminded me of Papa Schnee, and now I'm mad.
You know what, Papa Schnee?
Darn you, patriarchy!
He looks like a Monopoly man. He's a walking embodiment of a patriarch, and it's stupid because he takes advantage of a situation and enforces his desires and his beliefs upon his most likely his middle child, which is not okay to do. Like, you do not exploit your child's gifts for your own personal benefits. That is not what you do. You do not use your child who is who is a victim of a tragedy, who's likely still dealing with it, to get money and get attention because your dust is on an embargo. Okay, you don't do that. That's the equivalent of sucking your own dick. You don't do it.
Yeah, and question about the wife, though. Do you think she originally fell in love with him, and then now is just he's some man she doesn't even know anymore, or do you think it was something more arranged, done through, like, business deals, or he was like, hey, I find you super hot, I'll provide money and all this, be my wife?
I'm not sure. Because with the world of Remnant, some things are very futuristic and some things seem kind of outdated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, but I feel like at one time she may have felt some feelings for him, but it was most likely, like, because business marriages are very common, and if you are the Schnees, like... This is a long line of dust miners who has existed for a very, very long time. Odds are that it was set up as a business marriage, like a merger. Yeah. Like, maybe she was part of a foreign moved or a different area of mining. Like maybe it had been mining in Vacuo.
Yeah, and it was to merge the two companies to be
And
more
then-
powerful.
Maybe she fell for him for a time and then it just slowly deteriorated.
Yeah, I mean, it's reminding me of a character from another show named Cersei, but anyway.
Yeah.
Because how, like, she originally fell in love with
I'm
the
on season
king.
2 of Game of Thrones. I will fight you if you spoil it.
This is, like, season 1 stuff.
Okay.
First book. Like, you know, with her, king, the guy who she lied to saying, Joffrey is your son, that guy. How she originally loved
yeah.
him,
Mhm.
and then he was, like, still over Ned Stark's sister, and then she was like, screw you.
I'm still just interested to learn more about the Schnee family dynamic because a lot of it is hinted at and a lot of it seems very,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
as someone, Stoic Drug said in the chat, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Schnee lineage had a little bit of incest. I wouldn't
yeah.
be. Because
Like,
that
keep
was
the
that
bloodline.
was a thing.
And they all have white hair.
Except for Papa Schnee, if I remember correctly. Because in the picture, didn't he have black hair?
Oh, yeah. Okay. His hair turned white from age, I guess. White and stress. But yeah, there's... I don't know. What?
I'm just wondering is, because we've all kind of been assuming that Jacques Schnee was the Schnee who married the wife, but what if it was actually Weiss's mother who was the Schnee?
Ooh. Yeah.
Because
I mean,
for-
here's the big contradictory for that is he's like the big honcho at the house who's trying to
True.
carry on the pride for the Schnee family.
But if the Schnee family is as patriarchal and as far back as it goes, it would be like as soon as you are married, like you everything you've been taught, you tell that person becomes the head of the Schnee family. Like that's
Okay.
how it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, I guess I haven't
I mean,
studied
it's possible, but it's
too far back into royal families for my AP European history class.
it would just be interesting, and I'm very interested to see Weiss's mother because we get one line of dialogue and a little bit of a hint. It's drinking in the garden, and that she and her father often argued.
Yeah.
Because he was yelling in the office, and Weiss's first assumption was that it was her mother.
Yeah. Although yelling doesn't always have to say arguing. It might just be totally one way.
True, but some form of
Conflict for sure. Like
Yeah.
do as I say. I don't think. I mean, it's possible that Willow, the wife,
is that
did not
her?
ever fight back. I think that's her name. Someone said shout out to Willow Schnee.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like confirmed because it's like I would think so, but it's not related to White.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because like
it's-
Winter, Weiss, Whitley, and because Whitley isn't Whitley like White Hills or something.
I think so. Yeah. I'll have to ask my friend who knows German. Which, by the way, she thought Weiss's name was just absolutely ridiculous. She's like, Snow? Who the heck is Snow? Like, that's pretty much what Weiss was. It was either Snow or White Snow. But
the Moon.
yeah, it was like, it was pretty much like Moon. It was like, who invited Moon here? Who invited White Snow or Snow? Yeah, it was pretty much that. Okay, Arnold said her name's just speculation right now. It's not confirmed.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Which, by the way, Rooster Teeth, we should totally get like a Ruby book, like the Red versus Blue book, where we have like all the characters and histories. Like, we need that at some point soon, I would say.
I would pay so much money for a Ruby concept art and world building book, like
That would be great.
at Rooster Teeth. You
Yeah,
don't understand.
come on, Rooster Teeth. Come on. You said you know your fans. Where is it? Just
As an art major, if that existed, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, it's like 3 people mention a Pumpkin Pete's hoodie. Rooster Teeth's like, here you go. Thousands of people been asking for concept art books. Like, meh, pass.
They're getting out all of the stuff. They're clearing out extra stock on their website, so everything's like $2. So I'm really, really hoping that they're gonna be getting it soon because
Yeah.
I need it.
I wonder if like Rooster Teeth fans who are not into Ruby are just like getting sick of like how Ruby is almost taking over.
Okay, well,
The whole
you
thing.
know what? I feel like they need to chill because
They do need to chill.
Rooster Teeth started with Red versus Blue, like.
Yeah,
It started with a Halo fan series, which became like a fully fledged 14, possibly 15 season long animated series that is incredible and amazing.
Mhm.
So I think they can, like, if they were there for Achievement Hunter and they dealt with all of the Red versus Blue, I think they can deal with their own like precious animated baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and Arnold, they made the RVB book after.
It was last year. It came
Yeah,
out
he
last
wrote
December.
after season 13, right?
They were selling it at RTX. I bought
Yeah.
mine at RTX. But it came out last December. It's
It covers up to 11 because it's up to season 11 of the Chorus trilogy. So the first part of the Chorus trilogy.
Really?
Yeah,
just up
I
to
was reading
then?
through it, and I was reading the character bios, and the info wasn't completely updated.
Oh, really? That's
can
weird
elaborate
because
off
it
of
came
that.
out while season
No, it-
13 was going
it
on, so
did,
you think
but
it
when
would have
they-
had 12.
When they were writing it, well, and that's what I was expecting as well. But
Huh.
yeah, I'll tell you exactly what it was later. But it was with ranks that were mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, ranks and like names and stuff.
Because you know how they're all at a.
I what
I'm trying to like
word
mime
it?
this out for you, charade style.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted because Anamara just made a little fan art of me looking like Sun. Yeah. Thank you. Turned you into Sun. Should have turned you into John, but I'll do that next time. Awesome, because I'm still trying to regain my beach body, which is weird. It might actually be in time for the winter, which is like wrong time, body. But yeah, I am definitely more of a John guy, which I had a dream about John sort of last night that I told you about.
Yeah, did I tell you about my Ren one? Because that was a situation.
A situation. Do I have to? Do I want to know?
No, it wasn't like bad.
Okay. That's what I was trying to like. Okay. Oh yeah, he was just like there and didn't do anything.
He was just hanging out.
He was just like a background character.
Ren was just like a part of the friend group I was in there, and I was like, all right.
So
But anyway, back to the episode.
what were you talking about the episode? I don't know. I'm just thinking Pumpkin Pete hoodies now.
Someone wanted us to talk about.
I know someone on Ruby Mino mentioned Yang, so we.
I'm so emotional about Yang Xiaolong.
Yeah, poor Yang. I think I mentioned Yang earlier, then I sidetracked with Tai, and
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Like, a moment to appreciate how just Tai Yang, A+ dad.
A+ dad. Yeah.
A+ dad.
Man, everyone deserves a dad like Tai Yang. In some form or another. Like, they don't have to do exactly what Tai Yang's doing, but as long as they're, like, putting some sort of love and effort towards their children.
Like, he recognizes that his daughter is going through something, and when people sometimes go through trauma, usually the easiest way is to pretend it didn't happen. So it's like, oh, hey, I know you lost your arm, so this one is custom made. It's like, things can go back to normal, which may be what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when she didn't want it, it was like, all right, maybe not yet, maybe not now, maybe not ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when the scene in the kitchen, when she dropped the glass, you see him there, like,
Yeah.
he
He
probably,
sees the hurt.
in some degree, understands what's going on. He's probably had to deal with something similar. Like, if you're, like, huntsmen and huntresses, as Roman put it, they die.
Yeah, and well, Summer died. He's probably relating to when he lost Raven and then when he lost Summer. He probably
Like,
knows.
he may not have gone, like, lost a limb or seen them die personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if he'd seen others. Also, the chat is just making Ren puns with me now.
Yeah, I was going to point it out, but then you were getting very passionate about him, and I was like, I don't want to stop.
You're having Ren sleep.
Were you dreaming? Yeah, Yang definitely has PTSD. John, probably not. I think John's just going through 5 stages of grieving.
I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much everyone that was at Beacon during that battle ended up with at least a lot of trauma or even full out PTSD. Like,
yeah. So far I haven't seen like John or Ren and Nora going through PTSD, but John is definitely going through what is it? It's the second stage grieving where it's like anger and blame. I think he's kind of turning blame and grief into him working harder to possibly prevent losing anyone else.
yeah.
I mean, that's just what I'm thinking.
Also, Kosef says Taeyang doesn't seem to give a F about Ruby being missing for 6 to 8 months and never coming back. He probably knows what she's doing. Like,
She left a note.
she left a note, which granted isn't the greatest
Mm-hmm.
thing ever, but like, she's probably been in some degree of contact with her dad. It's like, hi, I'm fine. I am trying to fix the world, which is kind of what I need to do. This is my job as a huntress to fix the world, Dad.
Speaking of contact, just a detour. I keep getting comments in my reaction videos because chapter 3, for example, I said, Blake, you should at least call Yang. And people are like, how is she gonna call her? The communication tower's down. It's
That's
like,
sketchy.
yeah, it's like carrier pigeon. I don't know. Like there's other forms. There's other forms of communication, and like in chapter 1 of volume 4, they said like, oh, service is a bit sketchy in this area. They didn't say communication through scroll is completely gone. And you see Yang watching the news. Like,
Yeah, well,
if a communication tower's gone, like,
there
how
are
should
the
they do
miniature
this?
satellites that they have set up.
Yeah. So the communication is still possible.
Yeah. And then, so people were talking about Bernie voicing Taeyang, and like, it's actually, after everything that happened in the finale, was really, after everything that happened, there had that white screen. Hearing Bernie's voice was like almost like an immediate calming sensation, because this is Bernie. This is like,
He has
You know what
that
I'm-
nice, deep, warm voice.
it's like it feels like everything is like original Rooster Teeth, like you're okay, because like I've seen people refer to him as like RT's dad figure.
Oh, pretty much. I mean,
So it's like having him be Taeyang makes sense, even though I kind of thought it was going to be the Tucker's VA.
oh, wait, who?
Hmm?
You thought it was going to be who?
Tucker's VA?
Oh, yeah, Tucker's voice actor.
Yeah, we had this conversation on VYTALCast last week.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. Also, I think we should probably end up wrapping up, but I do want to ask guys, so we're pre-recording tomorrow? Are we pre-recording tomorrow? Or is there
Yeah,
another time we should...
I think tomorrow works for me. We
Okay.
can work this out later.
Yeah, but we need topics to talk about tomorrow. Obviously, Chapter 4 will be a huge topic, and if we record tomorrow, we probably could just talk about Chapter 4 only, and just because we're fresh from the fray and being like freaking out, and we'll probably have a crying Aaron on it. So
I don't cry every episode, okay? I don't.
well, I don't know. If it does go into that Ren arc, I think you will cry.
I'll probably, yeah.
There's no denying it. So guys, definitely hit us up on Twitter about stuff, or if you have fan art that you made that you want to have featured on VYTALCast, or recommend an artist to us, that'd be great too. And or if you continue making fan art of us, that'd be awesome. Anyway, yeah. See you guys.